Hello and welcome to an Everquest guide for a level 105 Enchanter. Alright, so let's kind of get into this. This is how I play my Enchanter. My Enchanter is mostly boxed. So how I do it is mostly, I guess you can compare it to a wizard that can mez. I think that would be the best way to describe this setup. So I have 5 nukes memorized. I have Mind Scythe, Mind Sunder, Polyrefractive Assault, Intellectual Appropriation. So let's kind of go with these because I can only have 4 up at the time. So Intellectual Appropriation does 8,000 damage and brings mana back to the group. Mind Sunder does 22,000 damage. Assault does 11,000, and Mind Scythe does 12,000 damage. And then Chroma Shift as my last one, which does 9,600 damage. So we'll kind of show how I do all this here in a second. I have Bewilder, which is the level 101 mez, which will mez up to level 108 single target. I have Pacified Mind, which will pacify something up to 105. Honestly, this is a wasted spell slot for me right now, but I haven't decided what to put there yet. I just pull everything now. My tank is able to handle mobs, so it's no problem. Deadening Wave, this is the AoE mez. I use this almost exclusively to mez. If I have too many mobs, it will mez them all. I don't know if there's a cap on it, but I haven't had any problems with it. Everything up to 108, same as a single target. And then I have Drown, which is a damage over time that does 17,000 damage instantly, and then 8,200 damage over 48 seconds, every 6 seconds. So very nice. I do this on, I manually cast this on anything that's named. Darkened Auspice. Now, I don't know if this works. I don't know. I still don't understand. I think we had Umbral Auspice at level 100, and I've been trying to, I've cast this on every named, and it says it will absorb 75% of the melee damage in excess of 20,000. The previous one I think was like 12,000 or something like that, and the 12,000 one, I was still getting hit for 14,000. I was still hitting it for, you know, over 12,000. So I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know if it actually does anything for me. I haven't been hit for, I don't think I've been hit for 20,000 yet. I've been fighting stuff that hits way lower than that. But I'm I'm still trying to figure this out, and hopefully I'll figure it out eventually, but I cast it every time on my tank. And then I have my 2 auras, Twin Cast and Enticer. Twin Cast just makes your spells twin cast, and then Enticer is just extra mana regen, since I box a druid and she has no mana. But my hotbars are pretty much the same as level 100. I got my Hide Corpse macro. I got my burns. I did update my burns slightly, so Silent Cast, Spire, those are the same. Added Illusion of Grandeur, Chromatic Haze, and Reactive Rune to my burn 2 button. So when I burn, I hit 7, then I hit 8, and then I hit 9. And that activates them all, and I do that on all my characters at the same time, so all these get activated at the same time. Illusions of Grandeur. We talked about last episode in the level 100 video, but we can talk about it again here. Pretty much increases all the damage, all the damages, critical damage, critical chance, the damage dealt by all that is just critical damage over time. So this is just like some Illusions of Grandeur, just super damaging, and it kind of buffs my druid. Then Chromatic Haze, which is, where are you? Is it over here? totally blind. Sort by letter. There it is, chromatic haze. So this one will increase the base damage of spells that cost mana, and deal at least 100 damage by 375% for 12 seconds. So critical spells, all this just keeps going up, right? Damage, more damage, more damage, more damage. That's kind of what the whole point of an enchanter is. Reactive runes. So this is a new one we picked up, I think at 105. Possibly. I don't, if I had it before, I didn't notice it. And it's a group rune, right? And it just does a melee shield, spell shields, all kinds of cool stuff. So I just throw it in there as like something that I hope will help the tank while he's fighting something probably hard. But we'll see. We'll see how that one goes out. I just noticed it when I was updating all these macros. All right. My slow is the same. So I guess it's worth explaining. I have extended targets set up so that 1, 2, and 3 are my characters and my 2 box characters, and then 4 is my assist. So for me to assist my tank, I just hit X-Tar 4, and then I'll attempt a AoE slow, and if that's down, I'll do a single target slow. And then I have a Tash button that just does bite Tash on the assisted one. And then I have a short duration buff, which just summons my Mind Crystal and casts Darken Auspice on my tank. And then 173, I believe, is Eldritch Rune. Yeah, Eldritch Rune. So that just, it's almost a pointless at this point. I can actually remove that one. There was more stuff in here at one point in time, but I already moved it, so just drop that off the bar. I have a mez macro here, so this will mez the next ad. So if there's, like, I'm fighting one mob and there's an ad and I want to mez just that, which I really don't do much of anymore unless there's like more than 4. But this will do Noctum. So I think I talked about it last episode in the level 100 video. But Noctimate here it's an AA 3-minute mez. So I kind of use that now. It's there. If that fails, I'll fall back to Bewilder. Whatever my 6 is for mez. It works as expected. And then our X-Tar 6, the one after that. But I typically just go straight to the AoE mez these days, which does Beam of Slumber, which will just mez everything in front of me. And then get them all kind of like locked down. And then I can switch to casting Deadening Wave when that's down. So this is a 1-minute reuse, and it seems pretty powerful. We'll see how well that works moving forward, though. Then my group buffs, teleport items, charm macro. I don't charm because it's just not applicable to the way I play at this point. Some more mez macros for 7, 8, and 9. Some veteran stuff, and then so my multi-bind 4, right, casts everything down here. So let's kind of show that real quick. So if I start hitting 4, right, the only button I'm pushing is 4. So you see here I hit that nuke. It's gonna go with all the AAs next. It's gonna do that nuke and then that nuke, and it's just gonna go through every single one of these spells that's available, right? Whatever the first one's available, it's going to go with, right? And it will get the X target 4. I don't have an X target 4 on my tank right now, so it's just doing that. One of these also, I think the auto inventory button sends the pet to attack. So you can kind of see, if we look at spell damage, you can see here, we don't do a lot of damage. It's decent damage, right? I should probably parse it. But you can kind of see here, we got a twin cast going on. We got 148,000 crit. It's a noticeable amount of damage, but if you look at her mana, right, I haven't been doing this very long, and she's already at 75% mana. Very, very draining. Very draining. And see here, let's turn off the can activate. Let's kind of take a look at the AA abilities. So I currently run a melee. Stop him real quick. I run a melee mercenary. Mostly because the caster mercenaries were not assisting the tank, and they were just doing whatever the hell they wanted, which was breaking mezzes and stuff like that. So I switched to melee DPS at some point. I think it was when we started doing raids where they wouldn't even do any damage because they don't go into melee range. So I keep up Rising Fury, which increases the damage, right? So is it 10% extra damage? I also pick up subtle strikes, which lowers the hatred by 10%. But this requires improved health. The next rank is going to require improved health 22. So I have been putting points into improved health for this just to give it more health, but to meet the requirements for the next rank of those spells. Let's see here. So here's the A's, right? At 105. I noticed these, so we might have had these beforehand. We might have not, right? I don't know. I wasn't paying that close attention as I was leveling up. But we now have focus abilities, and these all increase the damage of our spells. You can see these are all increased damage by 16%, haste and stuff. But one of note right here is what is it called here? Beguiler's Synergy. So this grants your Mind Sunder a 100% chance to do Beguiler's Synergy on all group members, which increases the base damage of one fire, ice, magic, or chromatic spell by 40%. So right here, we can see we have it on us right now. Increases the damage of one spell by 40%. Now, that's crazy, right? Every time I nuke, there's one spell from my druid or my paladin that will be increased by 40% damage, right? It's a very, very nice synergy for this. So it's very, very nice. You can see here, Mind Sunder, we get a 16%. This will go up to 6. It'll go up to 16. Go up to 16. There's another. It just adds another spell that'll work on. But these are very expensive AAs. Obviously, they're 100 each. So the auto grant kind of helps out with that. But I think that's like the most of the AAs I really wanted to talk about. Because since we have auto grant, I don't really. It doesn't matter about what I need to pick because there's nothing to pick, right? When it comes time to actually spending points on AAs, we will. I'll kind of go over the priority, and that should be about 110, 115. We should stop getting auto granted. I can't remember where, but yeah. So I'm still using the summoned pet. This one is probably This is the like 2 levels behind. He hasn't died. He still does, decent damage. He's hitting for 2,600. Like he's a boss. He hasn't died, so I haven't resummoned him. I should, but I only have 12 of these tiny daggers left, and I really don't want to go to Plane of Knowledge to get any more because I'm lazy. But he's working as expected, I suppose. He's not dying, so he's doing his job. And that's about it for the Enchanter. I can't think of anything else I want to mention, but if you play an Enchanter and you got some tips that I could use in a boxed environment, the way I use this character, please let me know. I will be having some other videos when I get my other Enchanter up into higher levels to cover up a more comprehensive way to play an Enchanter not boxed, because I play that character as the main like I do my Paladin in this series. That one has the Enchanter as the main in it, so I do charming and stuff and other things besides wizard light, if you will. But thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.